Hi everyone. On behalf of our team here at LSC, I want to talk about something that's, well, fundamentally important. What if, after an earthquake, the goal wasn't just survival, but getting our lives back to normal within days? We've been diving deep into how communities can build for that kind of resilience, and it turns out the blueprint is a lot clearer than you might think.
So let's start with a truth we just can't change. The ground beneath our feet is gonna move. Earthquakes are gonna happen. That's a constant.
But, and this is the whole point, the widespread devastation that so often follows, that is not inevitable. This is the critical distinction. While the shaking is a given, the disaster, that's a choice. We absolutely have the knowledge and the technology right now to separate the two, to turn a natural hazard into a manageable event, not a total catastrophe.
So where do we even begin? Well, to find the right solution, you have to make sure you're solving the right problem. And when it comes to earthquakes, the biggest danger isn't always the most obvious one.
When we think of earthquake damage, we usually picture a building collapsing, right? But the real, and honestly, the far more common problem is the chaos that happens inside the walls. It's all that non-structural stuff, the medical equipment, the water pipes, the ceiling panels. When that stuff fails, that's what cripples our hospitals and businesses. It's what dominates the financial losses, even when the structure itself is technically still standing.
Understanding that problem really forces us to rethink our entire goal. We have to move beyond just surviving the shaking and start aiming for something much more ambitious.
And that ambitious goal is called functional recovery. Think about it for a second. What good is a hospital that's still standing if it can't actually treat patients for a year because its equipment is broken? The goal isn't just to keep buildings from falling down, it's to get them and all the vital services they provide back online safely and quickly.
And here's the difference in a nutshell. The old way, the life safety goal, is absolutely crucial. It saves lives, but it can leave you with a building that's basically unusable, stalling a community's economy for years. Functional recovery aims so much higher. It's about making sure that community can keep going, keep operating. It really is the difference between simply surviving and truly being resilient.
So how do we make functional recovery a reality? The great news is this isn't some theoretical fantasy. There is a clear, evidence-based blueprint that we can follow to get there.
This blueprint is built on 7 core strategies that all work together as a complete system. And while all of them are important, let's just focus on a few that deliver the biggest impact to show you just how achievable this really is.
If there's one place to start, it's right here. Adopting, and this part is critical, enforcing modern building codes. This isn't just about safety. It's one of the smartest economic moves a community can make. Studies consistently show that for every single dollar you invest here, the return in prevented losses is in the double digits. I mean, that's an incredible payback.
Of course, new codes only apply to new buildings. So what about everything that's already built? Well, for that, we need a smart plan. That means systematically screening for risk and retrofitting what's most vulnerable. And, as we saw before, that often means focusing on bracing those non-structural elements, the pipes and equipment that keep our essential services running.
We also have some incredible engineering tools at our disposal now. Technologies like base isolation, which essentially puts a building on giant shock absorbers, can dramatically reduce how much a structure even feels the shaking. And these systems aren't experimental. There are thousands of buildings all over the world using them to reduce damage and get back to business quickly.
What could you do with just a few seconds warning before an earthquake hits? That's the power of earthquake early warning. Now, to be clear, it doesn't predict earthquakes. What it does is detect the shaking the moment it starts and sends out an alert that literally outraces the seismic waves. Those precious seconds are enough to automatically open fire station doors, slow down trains, and give all of us time to drop, cover, and hold on.
These solutions are incredibly powerful, but they can't be put into place in a vacuum. Building a truly resilient community isn't just a job for engineers. It takes everyone, at every single level, playing their part.
And as you can see, everyone has a role. City leaders can adopt the codes. Building owners can secure their properties. And every one of us as residents can take simple steps like securing heavy furniture. No single action is enough on its own, but together they create this powerful web of safety.
Now, this all sounds great, but it brings up the big question, right? Can we actually afford to do this? Is this level of resilience realistic, or is it just a wish list?
The data couldn't be clearer. The real question is whether we can afford not to. The upfront investment and being prepared is tiny compared to the staggering costs of damage, disruption, and displacement.
The smartest fixes, especially for those non-structural things, are often low cost but have a huge payoff in keeping a community up and running.
So let's put it all together. What does this future look like? Well, it's one where communities aren't defined by the hazards they face, but by their incredible strength and their ability to bounce back.
If there is one key takeaway from all of this, it's that earthquake resilience is not some futuristic dream. It is achievable right now. We have the tools, we have the knowledge. The only remaining challenge is to consistently implement them.
So we'll leave you with a question to ask about your own community. Is it designed just to survive, or is it designed to thrive? The choice and the tools to make it happen are in our hands. Thanks for your time.